What secret did you bury in your grandma's coffin? My grandma was obsessed with her garden. Every single day for 60 years, she'd wake up at sunrise and spend hours tending to her roses, talking to them like they were her children. She'd whisper secrets to the red ones, share gossip with the yellow ones, and tell bedtime stories to the white ones. Everyone in the family thought it was just a harmless quirk of an old woman who lived alone. When she died last month, everyone wanted to honor that by filling her casket with her favorite flowers. It seemed like the perfect tribute to a woman who'd spent her entire life nurturing those plants. But I knew something they didn't, something that had been eating at me for months. Last summer, I was staying over at Grandma's house because my apartment's AC had broken. Around midnight, I heard the back door creak open. I looked out my window and saw Grandma in her nightgown, walking to her garden with a flashlight and a small shovel. When I asked her about it the next morning, she just gave me this mysterious smile and said, "Some secrets grow better in the dark, sweetie. The roses know how to keep them safe." I thought she was just being weird, but something about the way she said it stuck with me. There was a weight to her words that I couldn't shake. The night before her funeral, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about that midnight digging, about the way she'd looked so determined, so secretive. Finally, around 2 a.m., I grabbed a flashlight and snuck into her backyard. I felt crazy, but I had to know. I started digging where I'd seen her that night. The soil was softer than I expected, like it had been disturbed recently. 3 feet down, my shovel hit something hard. I pulled out a mason jar, sealed tight with electrical tape. Inside were old photographs and a folded piece of paper. The note was in Grandma's handwriting. "For when you're ready to know the truth about your father, I've carried this alone for too long." My hands were shaking as I looked at the photographs. They showed my grandfather, who supposedly died heroically in Korea when my mom was just 5 years old, living a completely different life. Different wife, different kids, different name, different state. He was smiling in family photos, pushing kids on swings, celebrating birthdays, kids who weren't my mom. There were newspaper clippings too. A fake obituary from our local paper, and a real marriage announcement from a paper in Oregon, dated just 2 months after his supposed death. He'd faked his death and abandoned his family to start over with someone else. Grandma had known for decades. She'd discovered the truth somehow. Maybe hired a private investigator, but she'd never told anyone. She'd let my mom grow up believing her father was a war hero rather than a coward who ran away. At the funeral, while everyone placed roses on her casket and shared memories of her beautiful garden, I stood there with the mason jar tucked inside my coat. I couldn't bring myself to let it go. I'd intended to slip it into the casket, to bury the secret with her. But in that moment, I realized I needed someone else to know. Her secret didn't belong underground anymore. So instead, I kept it. I thought that was the end of it. But last week, my mom was going through Grandma's things, trying to decide what to keep and what to donate. She was looking through Grandma's jewelry box when she found a second note hidden in a secret compartment I didn't even know existed. The note said, "I hope someone finds the garden treasure. Some truths are too heavy to carry alone. I buried it where the roses bloom brightest, waiting for the right person to dig deep enough. Your grandfather wasn't the man we thought he was, but you deserve to know on your own terms, not mine." She'd wanted us to find it. She'd been waiting for someone to be curious enough, determined enough to uncover what she'd hidden. She wanted us to know the truth, but only after she was gone, when she couldn't be there to see the pain it would cause. My mom cried for 3 days straight after I showed her what I'd found. Not just for the grandfather she'd idealized her whole life, but for the grandmother who'd carried such a painful secret alone for so many years. We went to Grandma's grave together yesterday. Mom brought fresh roses from the garden, and we told Grandma that her secret was finally shared, that she didn't have to carry it alone anymore.